Hey guys, I am here with what I would call like summer and a palette. So let's go ahead and get started with the video. Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome on back to my channel. So today I have the gorgeous Kryptein Cosmetics Symphony Sunset. Did I say that right? Because you know I will change a palette's name like ain't no business, okay? I don't mean any harm. I just confused the words. So yes, let me see. This bad boy is, did I say Symphony Sunset? This is Sunset Symphony by Kryptein Cosmetics, and I'm so very excited to talk about them because ooh, little Donald Trump, the little orange man in his trade war and the tariffs, they were trying to take my brand down. Like she had to stop the shipping to the United States, but she is back. So let me go ahead and introduce myself. So if you are new to this channel, welcome. And if you're older but goodie, welcome on back. My name is Ashley. I have a doctorate in pharmacy and I love makeup. So that's how you get Dr. Ash and her makeup, but please just call me Ash or Ashley, and eyeshadow is my jam. One of my most favorite things to talk about here on my channel. So if you love eyeshadow and you love makeup, and sometimes I throw in my sister locks, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, okay? So back to Kryptein Cosmetics. I was super excited to find out that she was going to be able to start shipping again to the United States without incurring all of these crazy tariffs on her small business. Now, the owner was telling me all about it. I got the Secret Garden 1 and 2, and that was the last video that I did on this brand, and that was just like really when everything was just like all hell was breaking loose. So I will link those videos down below because you can go back and get those palettes now because they should be restocking, and you could definitely pick up this gorgeous baby right here. So this is the newest installment, and it is super gorgeous. Sunset Symphony. So here it is. Now, Kryptein Cosmetics wraps their products so super well, okay? But when I actually received this palette, now they wrap it on the outside. They actually put like little individual like disc on their shadows. And for some reason, Wave was like, nah, I wasn't feeling the transit, okay? And it broke on me. So I actually have a reel on my Instagram of how I repaired the shadow, but she looks good as new. I put a couple drops of isopropyl 70% alcohol, and then just kind of, first actually I mixed it up, then I put the isopropyl alcohol, and then I went ahead and used the presser to press the palette down, and I'll kind of insert some footage of what I did, but it was a very simple process to go ahead and put this palette back in place. I definitely have 3 looks for you, but a few things about the brand and this particular palette. This palette is actually available now. It released June 7th. This palette was gifted to me. It's no obligation to post or talk about the palette, and it retails for $61, I believe. It is available now on their website. And normally when you purchase items from Kryptein Cosmetics, it is actually very easy to purchase from them, even though they are a newer brand. They've actually been out since, I want to say, last year or a year. Maybe not, maybe like the tail end of 23, definitely 24. And so it retails for $61, which I feel like is very much affordable and on the scale of a lot of different indie brands. You're getting very high quality shimmers. The brand is vegan and cruelty free. She is a woman owned brand, and I love supporting like indie brands. I feel like they have such great color stories. The products are impeccable, and they can definitely compete with the big boys that are Sephora and Ulta by any means, okay? So now, I did mention that the brand is vegan and cruelty free, so if that's something that is important to you, can you purchase this with ultimate confidence? Now, it is described as Sunset Symphony eyeshadow palette. The palette net weight is 1.3 grams. There are 12 pans in this particular shadow, and the shadows are magnetic. I did get a question about that on my Instagram reel. She has like a little magnet and pressing set that she does have on her website. She also has these clear acrylic cases that I've definitely been meaning to buy that you can kind of like build your own palettes with. But somebody was asking me on my reel about like, were the shadows magnetic? And I was like, yes, you know, they are magnetic, but I was knocking out some of the flakes from Wave out of my shade Seashore because they were like cutting stuck in here, but I didn't want to go ahead and touch it with my hands and get any type of hard pan in the matte shadow. And as you can see right here, I cleaned it up, but it's a little bit of shadow just stuck in there. You know, I like to keep my palettes looking pretty nice. So actually, just to kind of remove like some of the shadow residue right here, I actually use my makeup, my One Size makeup remover, the spray, and I put it like on a little damp rag to get the shadow that was like excess outside the well off of the palette, so it would look nice, you know. So the shadows are magnetic, but the I couldn't find my magnet. I don't know what happened. It was like attached to my mirror right here at the base. It's not here. But the other magnet that I had was definitely too strong to pick up the shadows, and I did not want to mess up my shadow. I fooled around and used that magnet on one of my Adept Cosmetic shadows, and definitely broke like one of my shades up that's in the what is the name of that dang on palette? I love that palette too. It's the orangey one. I'll put a picture up. You know, like after a while, I'm like, what are the names? Okay, this bad boy, Sumerian Sunset. So yes, if you can see, this is what happens sometimes when you use a magnet that is too strong to pull out some of your magnetic shadows. I broke the shade. I absolutely love the shade Lao, and I basically about halfway ruined it. So I just wanted to go ahead and just kind of knock those flakes out and not pull up the shadow itself. And like I said, the other shadow was broken, but I was able to press it down. Now, like I said, they wrap their products up very well. I've never had any problem with shipping before. And as I mentioned before, I'm so happy that she's able to ship back to the United States, because the tariffs were definitely going to have an impact on her small business. So I have some swatches for you. I have 3 looks for you, of course. So let's go ahead and let's get started with the video. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I have someplace to be, but I want to do this really pretty. I was kind of playing around with the palette when I was swatching it out. And I want to do this really pretty sparkly look because it's like an island chic party, so on a boat. So this is like a perfect palette for sure. And I want it to be light. And I came up with this pretty shimmer look. So I have gone ahead and I did my brows, of course. I used my Benefit Cosmetics Goof Brow Pencil, shade 3.75. I set my eyebrows with this Precisely Brow My Wax. And this is shade 2.75. And I went in with my primer, which is Contemplative State. This is a matte paint pot. It is like the perfect color for my complexion. I also did do a little bit of skin prep. I went ahead, of course, I used my Danessa Myrick's hyaluronic acid balm. That's why I use as a moisturizer, even though it's hot outside. I have dry skin, so I want to look like matte, but still juicy and moisturized. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want to be shiny, but I still want my skin to be looking moisturized, because otherwise, if it's too matte and I'm not moisturized, I look cracked. And yeah, you get what I'm saying. But I went ahead and used this as primer. I put this on my face already just to kind of like soak it in, and I put it right in here and at the top of my forehead. This is the One Size Secure the Sweat Primer. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna shut up, and let's go ahead and create something. real clothes on. And if I have a chance, I'll try to do like a little full body. You know, but look at my top. It's cute. I got it from Shein. I have no problem saying that, okay? So, let's go ahead. Let's talk about the face details. Let's talk about the eye look. I just love how it came out. So the only thing I did different in this particular look versus when I was playing around, I went ahead and added in that orange shade, which is so gorgeous. What did I use? Carnival. Really, really pretty, gave nice bright pigmentations. And I do want to mention I used my new Glaminatrix E01 brush to blend that shade out. Of course, I went in with my NYX glitter glue to go ahead and lay down these beautiful, beautiful multi-chromes, and they just look so nice and ethereal on the eyes. I didn't want something too dark, but I wanted something a little dramatic since I have on a black top, but I do have on pink pants, so that works out. Brought it in with the lip for the pink and on the bottom waterline. So for the bottom waterline, I went ahead with a combination of two liners. Let's see, I put them up. Okay. I went in with my NYX, what is this? Burnt Sienna liner. Really love this brown liner because it's like brown with a little hint of pop of red in there. And then I went ahead with my ColourPop Cream Gel liner. And this is the shade Pixie. This is the multi-chrome liner. So I lined the brown liner first and then put this one over so it'd be a little deeper, but you still have that little pinkish pop. Went in, I already told you guys about my initial products for the face prep. So I went in with my Blurry Balm Powder in the shade Yummy Skin 7. And I was like, oh, I haven't used this in such a long time, and this would be perfect because, you know, it's a lightweight and I feel like it still gives me some coverage and it's still going to look glam. And the way I set it, oh my gosh, like mixing it with that hyaluronic acid serum for the dry skin with this is a super win. Plus it's a good shade match for me right now because as you can see, I'm kind of getting into my summer color. So went ahead with this and did that, set my eyes using the baby pink powder, but I used these two concealers by Danessa Myrick. I went ahead with my my number 6 concealer and my number 11 concealer right here for the little brightness. Set with that baby pink powder that I just mentioned by McGrath. Went ahead with my e.l.f. Camo bronzer, medium intense shade. Took my Glaminatrix Think Pink blush duo. Went ahead with the cream side and layered it with the powder. Just a gorgeous pink shade. Then I found this pink liner because you know I organized all my liners. Found out what worked, what didn't work. Went ahead with this like hot pink liner. It's by ColourPop. Don't know what color it is because you know it's faded. And then I went ahead and took my Glaminatrix. These are the cheek and lip flushes. I really like this. Put it on the lips and this is the shade Nurture. So set my face really well. You know, we had to go in with the one size. What is this? You know, on till dawn. But prior to that, I went ahead and used my Charlotte Tilbury. Then I went ahead and used that. You know, we had to set it to the gods. My brown lashes by Z-Gain that I love so much. And of course, you say I hit it up with the one size glitter spray. I do like this. But I was like, I sprayed too much like in this area. I did like kind of rub it out before I sprayed it, but it'll be okay. All right, so that is the look. I got to go. I'm good on timing. And I'll see you guys in a little bit. And I just love, you already know, I love me some shimmers by the Kryptein Cosmetics. The mattes are getting better with every palette. This color story is gorgeous. Look, it's like, it's golden, it's red, it's all the things. I feel like a little sun goddess. All right, so I will talk to you guys later. and these are the last two looks to round out our 3 looks with the Sunset Symphony palette, and I just love how they both came out. I wanted to do a little bit more monochromatic on this particular eye. I guess they're actually both kind of monochromatic, but I went in with like the aqua blues on this particular eye in that particular section of the palette, which was this side. And then I decided, I was like, you know what? I really just kind of want to play with this pink and this orange matte and do something kind of like light and airy and just kind of, you know, like a speckle shadow. And I went ahead and used the particular shade Afterglow, paired it with Surfboard, and used the pink shade Symphony. So I am just loving how everything came out. This look looks pretty neutral on my skin tone, so I'm very happy that you can kind of get some bold looks. You can get some very sun-kissed looks. So I'm really excited about that. Now, I feel like the palette is just simply stunning and gorgeous. All the mattes worked really well. So, and the yellow shade, okay, because you know how I kind of feel about yellow shades. So this is the shade Parasol. It's actually not that bad of a shade by itself. You can see the hint of yellow. Now, yellows on my particular skin complexion can tend to just kind of get lost. So a lot of times I go in with my DD Signature primer, which is in the shade Sunny. Let me pull it out for you. So this is the shade Sunny and by DD Signature, and it's a yellow primer. And a lot of times what I do is go ahead and pack the shadow on. But for my 3 palette one looks, especially when I'm demoing the palette and first impressions, I want to go ahead and present the shade sometimes without the primer, just so you can see how it will react on your, well, if we don't have the same skin complexion, but if you do have the same skin complexion, you'll see how it looks, or you'll just see how it performs in general, you know, without using an enhancement primer. But absolutely love how the looks came out. Of course, I went ahead and used my NYX glitter glue to lay down these shimmer shadows. I just love that you kind of get like a beautiful array. You have some deeper, very sunny, kind of pinky, orangey multi-chromes that you can do a lot with. You have some kind of shades that are like a little shade shifter, like the shade Skyline right here. You also have kind of what I would say a more traditional multi-chrome, a shade that we kind of see a lot, which is this aqua shade, which is Wave. But overall, I feel like the palette is very well balanced. I feel like it's sunshine in a box. Like, it is a perfect name. It also looks quite different from some of the new releases that just came out recently with the Secret Garden 1 and 2. But overall, I'm very satisfied. I'm very satisfied with all of the mattes in this palette too. Like I said, the yellow was not bad on. I definitely can see it peaking above the shade Breeze that I went ahead and used, and then going ahead with Seashore. And Seashore actually has pretty nice pigment. So I felt like I was definitely able to kind of like anchor down my looks and give it enough definition and pop in the outer V in order to like pull off the whole look. I love like just the different progressions of the shade, and definitely you can use Wave to kind of make it a little bit deeper, and even with the 2 deeper multi-chromes, Golden Hour, now these do kind of have like a really gold shift, but if you were to throw this in the outer V to kind of just put a little deeper shade in there, I feel like it will work well as also. Now the pink shade was really nice. The Symphony, it actually laid well over the shade Surfboard. Really impressed with the shade Carnival that I used with the first look. And that little all kind of shimmer look was really gorgeous as well. And I felt like everything just worked so well. I'm super happy with this palette. It is just stunning and it's gorgeous. And it's just kind of like a joy to play with. And it's a beautiful summer palette. For my face details, let's go ahead and talk about those real quick. I went in with my Pat McGrath foundation. This is the shade Medium Deep 22. I feel like this is a good color match for me as well during this particular time period. As you see, I am getting a little deeper from the sun outside. I went ahead and used my Danessa Myrick concealers that I've usually been using. These are like really the only 2 concealers I pretty much, well, I do have some other concealers. I have some Fenty, but these are like my staples, my everydays, my favorites, my go-tos. These are my ride or dies right now, okay? So I went ahead and used the shade 6 right in here for brightening, and depending on how glam I want to be, you know, I'll use more or less. And then for the, then I went ahead and topped it with 11 on the outer part of the eyelid. Went in with my e.l.f. Camo bronzer right here, and this is the shade Medium Intense. Then I went ahead and took my DD Signature blush palette. This is the Bliss Blush Trio, the nice beautiful oranges. I felt like this would be like a nice little pop to the sun-kissed look. Went ahead with Azalea, and then I went ahead and took Geranium and kind of like mixed the two together. I didn't actually do a highlight in this particular look. And then for the lip combo, I went ahead and used this Luxe Liner by Juvia's Place. This is the shade So Rare. It's kind of like a orangey brown, burnt orange type of brown shade. And then I went ahead and paired it with this like, not this like, but this Fenty Beauty lip gloss bomb in the shade Cheeky. Now I know she came out with an orange shade, but let's see, what is the new orange shade called? Is it the same thing? Because this was in a holiday set that I got many moons ago. Okay, so the new shade is called Mango Mars. Okay, that's the new shade. So it is a little, I can't tell you how different it is from Cheeky. But I have this. I'm going to use this, okay? So I do feel like the other shade is gorgeous, but like I said, I have this already. And then for the eyeliner combos for this particular eye, I went ahead and used my NYX liner that I used in the previous look. Of course, that's the Epic Wear Burnt Sienna. And then on this particular eye, I went ahead and used the Cream Multi-Gel ColourPop liner. I think this is Wild Idea. I'm pretty sure it's Wild Idea. You know, I'll pop it on the screen because, you know, no words on this. Okay, but overall, I really do love this palette. I feel like it's beautiful. Kryptein Cosmetics has literally just been killing it. They have been coming out with some really gorgeous things. I'm super excited that you can get them back in the United States. Like the tariff war had them like shut down, had them on pins and needles. That had me upset. It was like literally I got Secret Garden 1 and 2, and then it was just basically like it's a wrap for the most part. But you can go ahead and purchase again from their website. I feel like they're pretty affordable. Like they usually have a sale on shipping in the very beginning when you purchase the palette. So you can get a very reasonable price for shipping, which is great considering that, you know, it's coming from China. So they could definitely take Afterpay if you want to, if you're concerned about like having secure payments or anything like that. But I definitely feel like the palettes are elevating so much. The mattes, I could definitely see the growth in the mattes, especially because some of the shades are like a little bit more pastel in nature. And you know, pastel on the brown girls can be a little rough, but I feel like these are pulling through and doing what it needs to do. I definitely feel like if you were deeper than me, you would definitely need to kind of go in with like some of the primers that DD Signature has, and these color primers, or use a white primer. Me, myself, and I don't really care for white primers because, you know, I don't want to see it through my shadow, but to each his own. Like some people live by them. So with all of that being said, let me know what were your favorite looks. I love the first one. It was just so sparkly. It was really gorgeous. And then I really love this one. This one is like speaky to me. I just kind of love like how it's not uniform, how it's not so structured. We just have like the inner corner highlight. We got the shimmer on the lid and just kind of like nice floating matte shadows. Yeah, I'm living for it, especially with the brown lashes. So let me know what your favorite look is. Are you thinking about picking up this palette? It is released already. It came out June 7th. I'm so late with getting my video up, but like y'all know, I have been telling y'all like, ooh, like my health, it's been up and down, down and up. It's just been a lot. So with all of that being said, let me know what you think about the looks down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up and subscribe to my channel because you know I'd love to have you here in my little makeup family. And you already know what time it is. It's time for the chair dance, chair dance. Hey, 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 chair dance. Chair dance. Hey. All right, y'all. Bye.